Don't touch it. Yay.
Hi, we're Andy.
And Ruthy.
7 years ago, I was a waiter at a restaurant that were close to $90,000 in debt.
Now, we run one of the top real estate teams in the country with over $100 million in annual sales.
Come journey with us as we share our epic adventures,
Our business ups and downs,
and our mediocre parenting skills.
It's Saturday, Taylor family. What are we gonna go do?
Go to the Children's Museum in Olympia.
We're gonna go get our handstand. Yes. Yeah, do it.
Parker. What you doing, Pips?
Really successful day at the Kids Museum. The kids are tuckered out, no tears yet. Listen, today's vlog is gonna be about something along the lines of how Ruthy and I had our success in real estate. Now everyone talks about what was that defining moment, what was that, like, that one thing that put you guys over the edge. For us, it was a botched vasectomy. Now, before I go into detail about it, I gotta let you know, Ruthy and I cannot stand when people talk about wealth and riches and all the success they have. In fact, an all too common theme I see on Instagram and on Facebook, they kind of sneak in pictures of their Mercedes or their Audi with hashtags like doing errands all day, but they make sure to get the key fob just right, or the picture where just got my nails did, but it's a picture of their Rolex. That's not the kind of wealth and success Ruthy and I ever want to be a part of. Those kind of stories of success suck. But I gotta tell you, this is how Ruthy and I roll. We're Honda till we die. Boom. This watch, Armatron from Walmart. Listen, this is not one of those success stories. In fact, if you're into hustle hard or get rich quick or Insta stories, this probably isn't for you. The reality of it is our success came through a lot of hard work, and more important than success, what I consider success is that we've been married for 9 years and we still have a great time and hang out with our kids at the Children's Museum. So that's the real win. So yes, what I'm gonna share with you is how we got some monetary success, but lo and behold, the biggest part of it has nothing to do with that. So if you'll bear with us, I'm gonna share with you how a botched vasectomy jump-started our real estate careers. So as long as we got these ground rules out of the way and you guys don't go all judgy McJudgerson on us, I'll share with you how a botched vasectomy made Ruthy and I comfortable financially and on the way to real estate success. Okay, now you ready for the story of how a botched vasectomy jump-started my real estate career? So Ruthy had the bright idea that I should have my vasectomy 3 days before Pippa was born.
For the record, I had booked it. I'd researched the doctor. I'd booked it way in advance, but the doctor had a family emergency, needed to reschedule.
So I ended up having a vasectomy 3 days before Pippa was born. We don't have any family in the area, so we thought, hey, let's get this out of the way so that I'm good to go and in baby holding material by the time she comes. The downside was I was not good to go. In fact, when Pippa did come, we had to call a girlfriend up to drive us both to the hospital because I was drugged out of my mind on Vicodin.
Yeah, and it was like 2 in the morning.
Yep. I remember Ruthy gave birth to Pippa and I was on a gurney. The nurses were nice enough to set a gurney up and I'm shouting encouragements from across the room. You can do it, babe! You can do it!
When we get to the hospital, they put us both in wheelchairs and we both get wheeled into the delivery room.
The unfortunate part was I was that 1 in 10,000, that 1 in 10,000 they talk about. Don't worry, this vasectomy is
making up that stat, by the way.
No, but it's true. It's like that 1 in 10,000. This vasectomy is gonna go great for that 1 in 10,000. She never lets me tell a good story. Anyways, the problem was my testicles swelled up the size of a grapefruit. Now that is true.
I didn't even look at them. I was dealing with a baby.
Bigger than a grapefruit, actually more like a cantaloupe. So 3 days after Pippa was born, my parents come to town. My dad comes in, takes a look at him, says, boy, we're going to the emergency room. They gave me a staph infection. In fact, a staph infection, they never discovered exactly what it was from. They treated me for MRSA. I was in heavily sedated under narcotics for 4 days in the hospital until they finally released me, and bedridden for almost 6 months.
Yeah, in the meantime, I'm Googling vasectomy infections, and the first Google article that comes up is how a vasectomy killed my husband, which is exactly what you want to read the first day home from a hospital with a newborn and a toddler.
Slightly hormonal. What? Mommy and Daddy are trying to tell a YouTube story. What's up?
I had cold water and it fell on my head.
Oh, so at this point in time, this was in the middle of the summer. The year before I sold a grand total of $7 million in real estate. This was in the middle of the year when this happened, and I had just partnered with a buyer's agent and a showing assistant and an assistant. And so a little prematurely, I brought the buyer's agent on because I knew that we wanted to spend some time with Pippa as our newborn and had to have someone work these buyer leads. So from bed, you know how everyone talks about if my business could just be put on pause, if I could just put my business on pause for 6 months, not have to worry about selling real estate. Mommy and Daddy are trying to tell an...
Okay, you can go poop. How do 6-year-olds poop that much?
So where do we leave off? Oh yes, at this point in time, I think it's gonna be beneficial for you to see a visual representation of what happened next. So cue our nanny Kirsten's amazing drawing skills. You see, I got into real estate 2 years before. I started off the first year of real estate working on a team. Shout out to Matt Harbor and the Harbor Home Group. Best education I ever could have had. The very next year, I went on to sell $7 million on my own. Something that I don't tell many people, well, I'm gonna tell you, is on that year, I actually partnered with 7 buyer's agents to come work with me. Yes, I said 7. 5 quit working for me because I was a horrible boss and had no idea what I was doing. And 2, I acquired. I acquired because they still quit, but I also fired them because they were horrible human beings, and I never should have partnered with them. Very next year, I did the right thing. I read the MREA, ding, and hired my first assistant, Mallory. Hi, Mallory. 3 months later, hired a showing assistant, and we started to work marvelously wonderful together. Things started to go swimmingly. In June of that year, I brought on a buyer's agent. Now, right about this time is when I went in for the dun-dun-dun vasectomy. Don't worry, babes. All this is going to be visually drawn out for people to see. So, like I said, the first year in real estate did 5 million. Second year as a solo agent partnering with a bunch of knuckleheads did 7. The third year we went on to sell $20 million. Now, in the middle of this is when I had my vasectomy, right smack dab in the middle, and I was absolutely bedridden. The problem with that was there was no one to take listings. So I partnered with a much more experienced agent who was really good at working short sales, but didn't necessarily know how to generate business. And so what I turned into was the first ISA my team had. I was setting appointments for both of the buyer's agents and listing appointments for the listing agent. I laid in bed and did my one thing. And we talk about lead generating be your one thing. It was truly the only thing I could do. Plus I was pretty high on Vicodin, so I didn't mind it all that much. By the time I finally came back into production 6 months later, I had hired 2 more agents. So now we were up to 4 buyer's agents and 1 listing agent. And when I came back in the saddle, I realized there's no need for me to go back into production. Well, that very next year, we went on to do 50 million. The year after that, 80 million again, until this last year, we just did 100 million. Here's the funny little story that not too many people know. In my entire life, I've only ever had 8 listings. So here I am, a $100 million producer with only 8 listings under my belt. But truth of the matter was, I never would have done it this way. I never would wish anyone this kind of success.
He would wish you that kind of success. He means he would never wish anyone would go through what he just went through. Just for clarification.
Yeah, that's also what I meant. But I was forced out of the business with a botched vasectomy and decided never to get back in. When I was editing the video with Hunter Razzo, the world's greatest video editor, I realized that I said I and me, and I took a lot of ownership for the success of Mosaic. That's so far from the truth. I got caught up in the moment of making the video, and then I made the explainer video. Otherwise, I would have gone back and changed it. Never would have happened without these people. This is my 2014 squad. Many of them moved on to different things, but I still want to give you a shout out. Special thank you to Mallory Albers, Sarah Koch, Jesse Roberge, Nolan Robinson, and Paul Kuryatnik. That was the initial crew that got the momentum going to make us who we are. And because I love them, my current expansion partners in the different cities that we serve, none of this, again, would be possible without you. So thank you, Rochelle Guerin, Drew Thatcher, Nate Bills, Rayanne Toth, and Samantha Eastman. All the time people talk about what's the one thing I should focus on to grow my business to the next level. And I'll tell you, it was forced upon me because I couldn't go do selling real estate. And I made more money that year selling real estate than I did building the business. But my one thing was to prospect for talent. Prospect for talent to partner with me and prospect for clients to work with my talent. And my one thing has never changed. In fact, the reason our business has grown exponentially year over year is because my one thing is still, who's my next great partner that I can work with to build a big financial future for both of us. If you're looking to grow a real estate business, it starts with the Millionaire Real Estate Agent. If you're looking to grow just a business, boom, start with the one thing. Peace.